Yo, welcome back to Gridiron Podcast. It's your boy JB as always. And joining me today is Devontae Forever. What's good, bro?
What's going on with you, bro?
Not much. Can't complain, yo. Welcome back, y'all. Obviously, we're going to talk about week 9. We're going to give out some mid-season awards. We're a little late, half the season now is in between week 8 and week 9. So week 9 just kind of went down. So it's time for some mid-season awards. At this point, I feel like we've seen enough. Obviously, some teams can make a late push. Some teams can be good. But as always, yo, if you're watching this, make sure you comment down below. I am in the comments, and obviously I will play your comment on the screen to be seen. Appreciate all the love and support. So let's get right into this, man. Yo, Devontae, what's your opening thoughts on week 9, man? A lot of some better football, but still some sloppy football.
I got to relax. Thank God. I didn't got to have the anxiety from watching my Steelers play for a week. I got to relax and reset and reassess. But like watching week 9 just as a football fan was fun. It was definitely fun. There's a lot of teams who I expected to show up who did. There's a lot of teams that just blew the game. And more importantly, shout out to Tom Brady for winning the game. Like I always predicted, like you can tell people all now starting to backtrack on their words because he had the game winner. So
Right. And I know some people was picking that game apart because obviously he still didn't play quite well. He played a lot better than he has been, but he still didn't play well. My thoughts on week 9, obviously we had an upset, which we're going to talk about. If you don't know, it's in the graphic. Obviously, Jets upset the Bills. That was a big one. Although it's not like a huge upset, because I do think the Jets can ball out. But obviously the Bills was that team. Kansas City got back to form after they came off the bye. The Falcons blew a big game against the Chargers when the defensive lineman just fumbled. I don't even know how the hell that happened. He just fumbled. But yeah, man, I think week 9 all in all was better. I think the quality of football is getting a little better. Still some teams that can't put it together, like LA Rams.
yeah.
I thought the Chargers played better but sloppy. The Titans actually played better than I thought they would against the Chiefs, but I feel like the Titans have a good matchup against the Chiefs, and they got some injuries as well.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, I feel like we're starting to see who's going to be there in the end, right? In terms of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Started to see some bad coaching. Obviously, we know Frank Wright was fired, and we'll touch upon that in a little while. But Frank Wright was gone. Some Raider fans will say Josh McDaniels needs to be right behind him. But we're also seeing some good coaching. We see Pete Carroll out there coaching well. We see Mike McDaniel with Miami coaching well. Seems like that Miami offense is electric. So in terms of let's just get right into it, man. What's your thoughts on Frank Wright? Obviously, we know Jeff Saturday. If you guys don't know, ESPN. Actually, I believe he was supposed to be on First Take today. He's usually on with Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, he definitely on today.
Yeah, and now he is the coach of the Indianapolis Colts. What's your thoughts on the firing of Frank Wright and hiring somebody who's never coached beyond high school football as the head coach of an NFL team?
I thought it was incredibly random. I'm not gonna lie to that. It was the most random hiring I've ever seen. Like you didn't go anybody like Reggie Wayne or anything like that.
Right.
To me, it looked like low key. Looked like they just need somebody to sell tickets, and Jeff Saturday is in the Hall of Honor out there. Am I saying Jeff Saturday is not capable? No. But would I say it was incredibly random? Yes. That's like
right.
That's like if they fired Dan Campbell from the Lions and hired Dan Orlovsky. Like that's random to me. Like okay, like I guess like
right.
But it's not a horrible hire. But I mean, like let's be real here. They're gonna have to rebuild anyway. So like
yeah.
Because Matt Ryan was not the answer clearly as day. Matt Ryan is just not Matt Ryan anymore.
Right.
And it hasn't been for some years. Carson Wentz is Carson Wentz. So, like, I mean, and then this Sam Ellinger, no, he's not panning out either. So, like, they need a quarterback. There's nothing was going to help them either. Now, do I think they should have fired everybody? Yeah, but no, yes and no, because the NFL is also a very what have you done for me lately? Nobody's trying to hear no 6-year rebuild plan with the same coach. They're gonna fire you.
Absolutely.
That's just the name of the game, and that's just the name of the business. They're going to fire you. And honestly, I'm not opposed to it.
And look, one thing that people I feel like are not talking about is Frank Wright was supposed to be a quarterback guru, right? He was the mastermind behind Carson Wentz in Philadelphia, which led to him getting that job in Indy. And then obviously he had Phillip Rivers on his last legs. Okay, fine. Then he had his guy, Carson Wentz. And the last time we saw Frank Reich and Carson Wentz together, it was supposed to be an MVP type duo, right?
Yeah.
And then Carson Wentz kind of flamed out. And now you get in Matt Ryan, former MVP, took his team to the Super Bowl, and he looked awful. It's time, you know what I mean? I feel like some people would have been fired for less. Now, as the hiring of Jeff Saturday, now I've seen a lot of backlash, and I do get it. Look, Jeff Saturday, as knowledgeable as he is at football, he never coached on that level. Obviously, we know there's plenty of guys who haven't gotten that type of opportunity, right? So, like, I get it, but I feel like Jim Irsay kind of did that just to spark things up. I don't know, like. I'm not going to sit up here and act like it makes sense, right? But yeah, look, they're coaching against the Raiders this week, right? So hey, what better team to go on? I'm sure they'll get down. The Colts will start out the game down 20-0, like everybody else. And yes, if you're hearing this, I'm a bitter Raider fan right now, because I don't understand how they keep having. It's like this, like the Ravens have a good record. And yet they've blown some leads, but the Raiders have been up by double digits in every all but one. I'm sorry, because obviously they got blown out by the Saints. All but one game they've had double-digit point lead, and somehow I don't know. So shout out to Jeff Saturday. I'm sure he'll get his first win this weekend as an NFL coach. Obviously, I don't think they're going to hire him long term. I think he is just an interim head coach. But I think it was time for Frank Reich to go. All right, so. Another thing I want to talk about from NFL Week 9, man, and that is gangrene, Jets, Jets. They upset the Buffalo Bills, which a lot of people still have them as the favorites to go to Super Bowl. I think most people have them to meet Kansas City in the AFC Championship. But we know the Bills been rolling. We know they're a complete team. But hey, like they say, divisional games can be tricky. The same Raiders who couldn't score against the Saints put up 30 points against Kansas City and almost beat them. You know what I mean? So like divisional games are tough. And obviously we know the Jets are not the same old Jets from years past. What's your thoughts on the New York Jets beating the Buffalo Bills?
It was a big game. That was a crazy big game. That's the upset of the week. I don't think nobody expected the Jets to beat them. I think the Jets pretty much showed that they're here and they're not going away by beating the Buffalo Bills, but also Josh Allen played like trash. Like,
right.
He played garbage last night. And I think one of the actual main factors of why he did play garbage was because we are seeing a cornerback on that team who is legit a top 5 corner already. Like,
absolutely.
Like, if I'm New York, I'm paying him after the season. I might not even wait because, like, he's shutting people down. Like, he's locking dudes down. And Josh Allen just had a rough game. The Bills will bounce back. Like it's nothing to be scared about with the Bills. Just the Jets played a really good game. That Jets defense came to play. Quentin Williams and them boys came to play.
Absolutely.
But I do think that I'm a little sketchy about Zach Wilson because, like, when you have a quarterback in a position where it's like just don't screw it up, they tend to screw it up. So like,
right.
So like, am I saying they got to go get spend a first rounder or a second rounder on a quarterback? Absolutely not. But I wouldn't mind. But like, if you can get a veteran behind him, like a Jacoby Brissett or something like that in the offseason, I would not be opposed to doing that.
Does this say more about the New York Jets, or does it say more about the Buffalo Bills?
It says about the Jets. Jets defense is something you should really be afraid of because, like, period.
No, look, man. Look, I think Buffalo's still a good team. Of course, I still have them as the favorites, and I think rightfully so, to at least out of the AFC, slightly over Kansas City. But that's a toss-up, right? If somebody says Kansas City, you're not going to get much of an argument from me. But yeah, the divisional games are tough. But I do think, again, like, if you're Kansas City, if you're a team like Baltimore, who's kind of right there, Chargers or whatever, like, be on the lookout for if the Jets are on your schedule, man. That defense is real. Sauce Gardner so far is locked down. The defensive line when Williams, I know he had a blow up on a sideline not too long ago, but it seemed like they worked that out. And yo, man, it seems like they, the Jets is coming, man. For a guy in Robert Saleh, who everyone was saying he's a bad coach, he's a gimmicky coach. The Niners can play defense for anyone, and they're off to a pretty good start with D'Amico Ryan. But look, man, Saleh, it seems like he knows what he's doing, especially with that defense. I do agree they have to figure out what they're going to do with Zach Wilson. Maybe find somebody who could kind of simplify the offense, similar to how McDaniel did for Tua. And at that point, if they can get some more receivers and stuff, the Jets could be off to a hell of a start, man. They got something special going on.
I agree.
Let's get to these comments real quick. We got Jessica Brown with the hands up, praise, appreciate it. And then we got DJ R&B, Bills are fine. Josh Allen has to do better. Yeah, man. Look, if I could critique Josh Allen on one thing, is I'm not still sold on how he plays in close games. You know what I mean? Like, now the Bills can go blow up anybody. They can blow out anybody. Like the Bills is one of those teams who can run up the score. They scoring 60 points on you if they want. But when they get to these close games, we saw him against Miami. He couldn't get the spike, that 2-minute drill. Kansas City, he scored the touchdown, but I would have loved to see what happened if the Chiefs scored and he had some time to come back. He played well in that game, though. And obviously, of course, this was their second loss. But at the same time, like the way he closes out games, I'm still not quite sold on it, unless it's for some reason, unless he plays against the Chiefs. So I'm not really off of the Bills or anything like that. I think that would be too strong. But at the same time, I think the Jets are better than what people think. I don't think this is much of a trap game like people think. Now, I would have picked the Bills to win that game, but it's not like, oh, the Jets won, that's crazy, because the Jets play defense and they can run the rock. You know what I mean? Now, if they still had Breece Hall, then I probably would say the Jets maybe. I'm talking go beyond the wild card. But James Robinson played well, but he's not Breece Hall. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate his rookie year got cut short. But yeah, so I do agree that the Bills are fine. I don't think this is cause for alarm or anything like that. Glenn Foreman, what up, Young Guns? What up, Pop? Make any excuses you want. The Jets beat the Bills. This is a big W for the Jets, a confidence builder big time, which I 100% agree. Zach Wilson needs time, but also if doesn't wake up Buffalo, they will be the same old Bills. Impressive victory, which I didn't see any of. So I went back and watched the game. I didn't see the game live on CBS. I went back and watched it yesterday. And basically what I saw was it wasn't like the Bills played bad. Josh Allen threw a bonehead pick. Like, I feel like at times Josh Allen's arm is legit so strong that he thinks he could throw the ball through any coverage straight to his guy. And like his arm ain't that damn strong. It's one of the strongest in the league. But if you can't throw through coverage, you know what I mean? You still got to read the defense. So although he didn't have a garbage game, but Josh Allen, like, sometimes he just gets like too confident. It's like similar to how I critique Mahomes, where he want to throw a sidearm or like, sometimes just throw the ball. But yeah, so I definitely agree that it's a confidence builder for the Jets. And I know Rob was solid in the beginning of the year saying he's keeping receipts and everything like that. But look, man, I'm going to say based off that win, Jets, Jets. And I know they're at least going to win one other game because they got the Raiders on their schedule. So like, next week I'm getting into the Raiders, man, because they made a bonehead mistake in hiring who they hired. But I'm going to say that for next week. So if you're just joining us, I see DJ R&B, James Salvinsky, Luke Budashine. Appreciate you guys checking it out, of course. So we're going to do our mid-season awards, MVP, Coach of the Year, Rookies of the Year, stuff like that. Another comment from DJ R&B. The Jets are who we thought they were. Shout out to Herm Edwards, who I believe is back at ESPN now. If you want to crown them, then crown their asses what they are. No, I'm sorry. That's not Herm Edwards. That's the guy from the Bears. I forgot his name.
Herm Edwards is you play to win the game.
Yeah, you play to win the game. Right. Some of the classic sports sound bites. But look, man, one other thing I want to talk about real quick, though, and that is the Miami Dolphins offense. Look, man, I think it's time to give credit. I know a lot of people kind of wrote Tyreek Hill off because of the fact that he's not playing with Mahomes. And obviously Mahomes is incredible. Mahomes is an incredible young quarterback, gifted, you know what I mean? And all that. But I've always been a proponent that it's both of them that make it special, and Kelsey too. So like it's Mahomes and Kelsey, Mahomes and Hill, Mahomes, Kelsey and Hill is almost unstoppable. It's not just Mahomes, and that's not to say Mahomes is playing bad because I think he's playing great too. But I think it's time to give a little praise to Tyreek Hill. Through 9 weeks, he has 1,104 yards receiving, which is insane. If he ended the year at 1,104 receiving yards, people would be like, yo, he had a good year. Shout out to him, right? Because he is playing with Waddle. But he has it through 9 games. So I asked this to you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is Tyreek Hill to break the single season receiving record of 1,967 yards?
I mean, it's a good chance. It's a tall task, but it's definitely a good chance. Like the way he's been playing fantastic. Like he hasn't missed a step or missed a beat. It's very likely. It's very likely, but like, do I think he'll do it? Probably not. But
okay,
probably not. They always sit people in the last 2-3 weeks when you go into the playoffs anyway. So like, hopefully he can just continue to stay healthy. But like, I don't think he's gonna break it. No, but definitely has probably the biggest shot to do it. But like, I don't know. Let's see.
So, do you have Miami winning that division?
No.
So, where do you think they'll sit? Because that's my only thing. I don't see them winning that. You think what?
You talking about in playoff seeding or in the division ranking?
I'm talking about because they're going to be most likely a wild card team. I think we both agree. Where would he sit a game? Because they're not going to get a bye.
But like, they're going. I think they're going to lock in the playoffs. They're going to be like that top high seed wild card. That top high card wild card is normally always locked. There's always like that second team in the division that's like also with like a very steep winning record, but they can't obviously win the division. They can't get a division spot. So, but nobody who's in the hunt or in the wild card can never really touch them. So it's literally a locked in spot.
Right.
And that's what the Dolphins is going to be.
So would you give, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you say 5 or 4 or less than 7? What would you say? How likely he is to set the record? Because at this point, he needs what? He needs about 866 yards left in 8 games.
6 or 7.
Okay, which is pretty high. Look, the only reason why I say that, if he was like a Randy Moss type or something like that, I'm like, okay, right? But the fact that is he could take a slant and take it to the house for 90. You know what I mean? Like at that point, I think it's inevitable. I think now the only thing that's going to stop him, I think, is injury. Now, then we can get into the whole where there's an extra game. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Which, hey, man, records were set last year and with an extra game. So I think he's going to break it. I think it's inevitable because at this point, Tua's hitting him on these routes. He's not hitting him on a deep ball, but the dude he's averaging like $140 a game. You know what I mean? And it's not all deep passes. It's like some of them 10 yards here, 25 yards here. He's catching like 7-8 balls a game. And not only that, Waddle's still getting his passes and they're still running the ball. What Mike McDaniel did with that offense is pretty damn good. Now, some people say it's easy because obviously with all that speed, but I like what they got going on in Miami. All right, let's get to these comments real quick, man. All right. DJ R&B, weather's about to get cold. Miami will be running it more like all warm weather teams do. Look, I don't know, man. Tyreek Hill's a special weapon, so I feel like if you have that guy, you got to use him. I do agree they will start to run the ball more, though. DJ R&B again, road games left at Miami, at New England, at New Jersey, all going to be cold. I agree. I know cold weather, you don't throw the ball as much, but the Dolphins don't throw deep. They throw slants. They throw out routes. So I still think he's going to get it. James Salvinsky, Jimmy was good. He said if Tua stays healthy, it's going to happen. I agree. I think he's got it, man. I think now if he would have had 900 now, 1,000 flat, okay, it's a little tough. But at this point, he's already at 1,100. He's getting it, unless he gets hurt. Glenn Foreman, he gets the record easy, but the MVP will go to QB. I hate that, although I do agree. I don't know. I will say this. If he gets 2,050, 2,100, I think he should be considered as an MVP. depending where they finish. But I do agree, almost always the MVP will go to a quarterback. I think the last one to win it was Adrian Peterson, I believe, and he had a monster season. No,
I think it's AD. I think Aaron Donald won.
he won the MVP.
Yeah, I believe he won an MVP.
I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong on that. But all right, so let's get to what this show was built on, man. Mid-season awards, man. Let's go. All right, so kicking it off, man. Obviously, this is just through the first 9 weeks. But first things first, before we get to the actual awards, I want to kind of do what I call the anti-awards. And this award is called, literally, it's self-explanatory, hot seat. Devontae, this is kind of a surprise to you. I didn't even let you know what's going to happen for this particular one. But give me a coach right now, the number one coach in your mind who should be on the hot seat for the job. Obviously, do not include Frank Wright because he just got fired.
There are any more? Because Matt Rule got fired. He got fired.
Look, man, you got Josh McDaniels. You got Nathaniel Hackett with Denver. You got some people say Cliff Kingsbury with Arizona.
I mean, out of those names, I guess you gotta go. I mean, out of those options, I guess out of those options, I'm gonna go with Nathaniel Hackett.
Nathaniel Hackett of Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Look, you know where I'm going. I'm going, and this is meant to be brief. I'm going Josh McDaniels. I thought he should never got hired at first. Raiders were supposed to hire Dennis Allen, who coaches the Saints. Reggie McKenzie, the GM of the Raiders, picked Dennis Allen. And at the last minute, the owner was like, "No, we want the guy from New England." I thought when it happened, I said big mistake. That's why I said the Raiders will win maybe 6 games this year. But look, man, if they can get rid of him, the faster they get rid of him, the faster they got a chance to be okay next year. All right, let's get to the actual awards and let's not talk about the bums. All right, starting off, offensive rookie of the year. Who do you got?
Offensive rookie of the year. I got Dameon Pierce from running back from Texas. For Houston, running back from Houston, just mauling. He's been mauling people. I had him when I was doing when I do my Steelers draft breakdowns and stuff like that. He was always my 3rd round trade up for him, and everybody thought I was bugging. You see him now. I clearly was right because he's literally just running dudes over like casually. Like, I know the Texans aren't that good, but listen, Dameon Pierce is a guy. Like he gonna get paid very soon after he gets out of that little 5-year rookie deal that every rookie basically plays on.
Yeah. So no disagreement there. Like, I think that one is pretty open shut. I know some people are gonna have some others who are good, but I think this one is actually. I think both of these are open shut. I think we're gonna have the same answer for the first 2 at least. He's running people over. I know the Texans aren't winning many games, but I can honestly say it's not because of him. Like, he is a monster, and he is tough to take down. So he's definitely has my mid-season vote for offensive rookie of the year. Now let's get to defensive rookie of the year. Again, I think this one is pretty easy, although I do have an honorable mention, I will say. But go ahead, man. Who's your defensive rookie of the year?
Honorable mention, shout out to Tariq Woolen in Seattle, playing lockdown defense. I want to give him respect because he wasn't even a high draft pick like that. I want to give him all the respect in the world and all the credit. I would have traded anything they wanted to besides TJ Watt on my team to go get this guy. Sauce Gardner. That's it. I got nothing to say after that. We all know why.
Look, man. Yo, I don't get hype about rookies too often, but the way this dude play, man, is special. Like, and like, I'm not even talking about the success, like the stats, how he's holding receivers. I'm talking the footwork, right? I'm talking the way he can transition from the back pedal and flip the hips, and now he's breaking on a route, man. And this dude is special, and he could tackle, right? And you know me, like, the reason why I was a fan of the Legion of Boom back in the day is because they tackle the secondary, come up and make tackles. I think that's most important. I think Sauce Gardner right now, man. I think he's gonna be a star, and I usually don't say that about somebody the rookie year. I said it about Micah last year, but like I think he's gonna be a star, man. He just got to find a way to stay healthy and not have his mind blow up like some some young players. But I think he's gonna be good, man. Shout out to Sauce Gardner. All right, man. Next up, let's see if you got any comments on this real quick. DJ R&B, Goat Mahomes is the MVP, of course. We'll get to the MVP, of course. He says, next up, he says, Damon Pierce, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Sauce Gardner, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Geno Smith, Comeback Player. Tyreek, Offensive Player of the Year. Michael Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year. MVP, Mahomes. All right, let's see let's hold them to what we got. All right, Comeback Player of the Year. This one was tough for me because I'm thinking about injury. I'm thinking about, you know what I mean, who basically put their name back on the scene. So I'm curious to see who you got.
Comeback Player of the Year was tough because it was honestly, respectfully, it was between two people.
Okay.
And just because one is playing, I got to go with the person who's playing better than anybody expected in a million bajillion years. I got to go Geno Smith. I want to say shout out to Saquon Barkley for how he's playing and his story and what the Giants have been doing with him with garbage Dave Gettleman has been doing to his poor career. Bro, Geno Smith is an MVP candidate right now. If you would have told me, I would have bet anybody $1 million that this would not be happening right now.
Right.
Like, he's playing. It's not just the fact that they got Kenneth Walker and he's just frantically trucking dudes. It's not the fact that they got good defense. Bro, he's making incredible throws. Like, he's legit making incredible throws with one receiver. All he got is DK out there. Like, and they're not only like, they're not winning games 14-3. They're smoking people. Like, they're killing teams.
Absolutely.
Geno Smith is a Comeback Player of the Year, and I don't even know how. I can't even believe I'm saying these words.
Don't do that to Geno, man. Yo, as much as I want to agree, man, you know, I've been a big proponent of Geno this year. I actually disagree, man. I'm going to go with the other guy you said. I think Comeback Player of the Year is Saquon Barkley, man. Came off the injury, of course. And look, man, let's be honest. He is the Giants' offense. I know Daniel Jones has gotten better, like especially throwing the ball. Offensive line got a little better. But Barkley, man, he's what we call like a force multiplier. The way he could touch the rock and 2 yards here, 4 yards here, 5 yards here, okay. Then all of a sudden he's going for 60. And the way he could receive out the backfield, he actually improved the way he blocks and pass protection now, because that was one thing that he kind of didn't do too well. But I got to go Saquon Barkley, man. It was tough, man, because I kept going between him and Geno, but I got to go Saquon Barkley. I got to go Saquon Barkley. All right, so next up, man. Shout out to Mike Ballard for checking out the show, too. Appreciate you, bro. All right, so next up, Offensive Player of the Year. Now, this is one where I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, where can I go, right? But so I'll let you go first.
Offensive Player of the Year is Tyreek Hill. He's the fastest receiver in the damn league. Like, the way he's playing is stupid. It's not even fair to be playing this damn good at receiver, especially when you think that, like, oh, he left Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to be that reliable. He's not going to be this good. Playing just as good or maybe even better than me. That Miami weather is no joke, and he's still doing his thing. His receiving yards, the way he's catching balls and receiving yards, the way his yards after catch is literally unfair. He's one of the hardest people to tackle on the field. People don't talk about his toughness. He catches everything. He literally damn near catches everything. He can pretty much run any route in the book. You don't see people his size, like slot receivers, burning people on deep routes. You just don't see it. You just don't see it like that. And he does everything. There's nothing more you can ask for. Tyreek Hill is my offensive player of the year.
I agree. I literally looked at Tua because obviously his record is good. I looked at Josh Allen. I looked at Patrick Mahomes. I looked at Geno Smith. And I feel like what Tyreek Hill is doing is, for half a season, obviously, if he caps it off with a duplicate second half, we're talking about an all-time record being broken. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And for a guy who can literally take a who could take a swing pass out the backfield and turn it into a 90-yard touchdown, man. It's great. Like the way it is not just he's fast, right? Because we've seen fast guys in the league before, Jacoby Ford and guys like that, all that 4.2, 4.3 speed. One, the dude breaks tackles, and I think because of his experience as a punt returner in the open field, bro, he's ridiculous. Like, like the dude catch a out route, tightrope the sideline, cut back, and all of a sudden it's a 50-yard gain. It's not just because of speed; he's breaking tackles, making guys miss, and he can catch the ball. I'm not saying he got Megatron hands or Jerry Rice hands, but he can catch it. You know what I mean? He catch it with the hands, catch it with the body. He can block. So I think what he's doing right now, 1,104 yards, man. How could I not go with Tyreek Hill, right? Like he's a monster, bro. He's a monster. All right. Defensive player of the year. Who you got?
This disgusts me because I should be saying TJ Watt for the second year in a row. But so this incredibly disgusts me. This disgusts me so much. This is very disrespectful. But because I'm a trooper, he'll be playing Sunday, by the way.
I know. Watt is back.
Thank you very much. But because I'm a trooper and I have to pick, and this even more disgusts me because I hate this damn team with my whole heart. You got to go make Micah Parsons right now. Like
Parsons, Dallas Cowboys.
Bro literally plays to know how unheard of it is to play linebacker, and then transfer to play DN in the NFL. You don't see that. Rarely ever. You rarely ever see that. You rarely ever see a player who who's literally a hybrid player in the NFL and work. Who's not a safety playing linebacker. You don't ever see a linebacker playing defensive end. He is one of one. He's making plays. He's dominating plays. And he's like one of the most difficult people to prepare for. And the scariest part about it, he's only in his second year. So he's only getting crazier as he gets older. And with Aaron Donald having a rough year, I could have went Sauce, but like let's be real here, rookies don't be winning no defensive player of the year.
Right. No,
like
I got you.
So like Nick Bosa is doing his thing, but like listen, he's the obvious choice. Mike Parsons is my defensive player of the year.
So oddly enough, this one for me was the second toughest one to pick. Micah's incredible. You got guys like Matthew Judon, who's doing big things. Darius Smith with Minnesota playing very well. Sauce Gardner playing well. The corner from Seattle, the rookie corner, is playing well. I think Asante Samuel Jr. is playing well. There's a lot of guys in the league playing well. I could even give it to Logan from Cincinnati, playing the linebacker position almost better than anyone in the league. Still got guys like Fred Warner playing, you know what I mean? But for me, I don't got Micah. I got Matthew Judon, man. And it's not just because of the sacks. Obviously, he leads the league in sacks with 11. But to me, it's the way he could play the run. The way he could play the run, and then on third down, then go get the quarterback is incredible. And only thing about Micah is, man, at times Dallas has to sub him out on the run. You know what I mean? And to me, defensive player of the year is not just about how you play one, the run or the pass. It's how you play both, right? When I look back at guys who won it, TJ Watt won it last year, of course, and he's as great he is as getting sacks, and he had 21.5 sacks. He's just as good at playing the run. You know what I mean? A lot of guys around the league who could do both. And Judon right now, he's stuffing the run, but also playing the pass very well, obviously, because he leads the league in sacks. And on times he dropped back in coverage. So I'm not against Micah. I think Micah is about to actually turn it up in the second half of the year. But if I'm going off just mid-season, to me, it's Judon, because the way he's playing, I believe he's like second in the league in tackles for loss as well. So I know Micah Parsons is the big pick. Obviously, he is the star. I'm not going to say he's going to be a star. I think he is a star in the league. But for right now, Judon, to me, is that guy. I know some Dallas fans going to be all mad about that. But look, man, I call it how I call it. You know how I am. I've always been that way. You got to play the run in the pass. You know what I mean? Got to play the run in the pass. And Micah getting subbed out on obvious rundowns, I don't know about that. So this next one is actually the toughest one I had to pick, and that's Coach of the Year, man. I feel like whether it's Philly, whether it's Buffalo, whether it's the Giants, whether it's Seattle, it's a lot of good coaching in the league, some bad ones too. And we talked about that when we did the hot seat, but this one's tough, man. So I'm gonna let you think of coach of the year real quick. Let's get to these comments so real quick, and then we'll get into coach of the year. All right. So just to recap, DJ R&B had Damon Pierce, which we both had, Sauce Gardner, which we both had, Geno Smith, he agrees with you for comeback player of the year. We both had Tyreek Hill as offensive player of the year. He agreed with you as Micah Parsons. Y'all ganging up on me. I see that. And then we got Dana B. Seuss's. Guess who's going to watch the Super Bowl live? Hey, that's what's up. Like, that's what's up. If only Washington was in it. All right. What's up, nephews? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Going on?
Comeback of the player of the year, Tua. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one because, look, man, like, he's playing just as well as Philly.
Absolutely.
DJ R&B comeback player of the year, I mean, coach of the year, got to be the Philly coach, Nick Sirianni. We'll get to that. Danny Seuss's Jets coach of the year, Robert Saleh. Look, man, this is why this was the hardest for me to pick. And right before we get into it, last one, Danny Seuss 4 box seat tickets, 4 airplane round trips, 4 nights in a hotel, rental car for days, food and drink at game, 3 meals a day, $600. What the hell you get that from? Clinton Avenue? Like what?
Get
that deal? Like, it's incredible.
Is there more deals out there? Like,
right, incredible. Like, and Glenn Foreman said, "Coach is Jets." All right, let's get right to it. Devontae, who do you have as your coach of the year?
This was tough. I was like going through a bunch of different people, and I'm gonna go. My coach of the year, disrespectfully, is gonna be Pete Carroll. And the reason why I didn't go Nick Sirianni is because I don't think he's coach of the year. I think the GM is GM of the year, and that's not a debate. Like, the way that GM constructed and built that team, and finally just gave Jalen by getting AJ Brown on draft day, getting AJ Brown, still being able to keep your draft pick to get Jordan Davis, but how they drafted Devontae Smith the year before, and how they just signed Hassan Reddick in the offseason, how they just got Robert Quinn because one of their D linemen got hurt. I believe it was Brandon Graham got hurt. They went back out and got Robert Quinn for a smart deal. I think Howie Roseman's the GM of the year. So I think this team is more successful on what they're built on rather than like the offensive play calling. I think obviously the offensive play calling is important, obviously, but I think like the structure of that team is built through that GM, and that GM that GM and that scouting office did a phenomenal job. That's why they're more of my. That's why like I didn't go Nick or Sirianni route. You cannot tell me.
Okay.
You cannot tell me people expected the Seahawks to be like this. Nobody can tell me that. Nobody can tell me different. Not only do you see Geno Smith playing fantastic right now, DK Metcalf is playing great football as also, but have you seen that running game?
Yeah.
And we're talking about an offensive line that we literally used to feel bad for Russell Wilson because he was getting murdered a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We said that maybe it was Pete Carroll holding Russ back the entire time.
Let Russ cook.
Let Russ cook was a whole say. They get rid of Russ. They let Russ go. Look at them now. They're running the ball. They're playing great. They're playing defense. They're challenging you to play defense. And guess what? They still have draft picks on assets.
Yep.
A place where you thought nobody would want to go. Nobody in the world would want to go to Seattle at this point. What free agent would go to Seattle? You ain't saying that now.
Yeah.
You are not saying that now. Because guess what? Besides Tariq Woolen, and they got rid of Bobby Wagner, who's a staple on that defense, and they're still doing this. Name somebody who's not Tariq Woolen, who most people didn't even know until we brought him up on the show. Name somebody on the Seattle defense.
Look, man. This was the toughest one for me to pick, man, because you know me when it comes to football, I love coaching. I love like seeing like the X's and O's and how you adjust from week to week. That's why I've always loved Bill Belichick, Mike Tomlin, guys like that. So I was looking at Dayball from New York and how he got them playing. Of course, I was looking at, of course, Pete Carroll, and Seattle was projected to be the worst team in the league, and now all of a sudden they're They're making their way towards the playoffs as we get week after week, right? For me, I gotta go Robert Saleh, man. Like the New
I
York
get it.
Jets.
I
It's
get
the
it.
New York Jets, man. Like if any team in the league, maybe the Detroit Lions, have been like quote unquote the laughing stock of the league since we've been alive, it's been the New York Jets, right?
I agree.
Obviously we know they had that period where Rex Ryan and the defense again was amazing and everything, but yo, like, and look, even I said at least Seattle would be something. You know what I mean? This, no, of course. But I said there'll be something. They'll be decent with Pete Carroll in a run game. But I didn't think the Jets was going to be. I thought Zach Wilson might throw some touchdowns, but the way Saleh got the defense playing, bro, the way they went out and got Sauce Gardner and the way he's been coached up to play, yo, the New York Jets, they going to the playoffs, bro. I don't care who it is. Chargers, Patriots, Bills, Bengals, Ravens. I think the Jets are getting in one of those 7 playoffs. I mean, not 7, but like one of those 3 wild card spots, if not win the division. They already got a game up on Buffalo now. So, yo, I hate to say it because like it's weird to say like the Jets coach of the year. And a few weeks ago, it would have went to the Giants. Dayball, but the way Saleh got that team playing, man, and they talking about like believing, they believe, bro.
Absolutely.
I think Robert Saleh is easily coach of the year, but I love the Pete Carroll pick because they were projected to be the worst team in the league this year, and now all of a sudden they went out, they smoked the Chargers, they beat the Giants at that point, who was on a run. So I'm not mad at the Seattle pick. Let's get to these comments though, man. All right, let's go. DJ R&B says sound like a scam in terms of the Super Bowl tickets. Says I know some people.
Excuse me.
Says Devontae, you heard my Giants tickets.
Yeah. He got some crazy deal on Giants tickets too. It was crazy.
Friend of ours has connections. Sounds good. It sounds good to me. Jeremy Forgy, look, man, you showed up when the Bills lost. Like, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it because I know how Bills Mafia is, bro. I know sometimes Bills Mafia, when they win, they all over the place. But if they lose, they can't find them, man. So I appreciate that. He said the Jets, come on. Yo, coaching is coaching, bro. And although, like, look, to what DJ R&B said, Sirianni's a good choice. All jokes aside, as is Sean McDermott. Both are excellent. Hell, I could even throw Andy Reid in, right? Excellent jobs, like what they've done with their teams. But coach of the year, man, like, look, Buffalo has a lot of talent. They have a lot of talent, as does Philly. Philly is loaded. That's why I kind of agree with you. It's more the organization, right, and not just the coaching. But Sirianni, I do think is a very good coach. But the talent they got is, come on, bro, like
it's constructed amazing,
right?
It's crafted, like.
But the Jets, the way what they've done with that team, come on, bro. If I would have told you they would have beat the Bills, ain't no, come on, bro. And Jeremy, I saw what you said about trap game. It's a division rival, bro. There's no trap game. Come on, bro. They don't work in the no. I don't care how bad my Raiders are. The Chiefs gonna get up to play the Raiders. You know what I mean? Because they want to smoke us, and that's how it goes. There's no trap game inter-division. Matt Hine, Coach Hine, what's good, man? Coach Hine, congratulations on the move, coaching down south in the great state of North Carolina. Hope all is well. Let me know if your games are like next year, of course, broadcasted online. Would definitely love to watch. Jets, Jets. Me and Coach Hine been talking about the Jets for a long time now. And going back, it's funny because I was in school during the Rex Ryan days, and Jim Leonard and Bart Scott and Chris Jenkins and the crew, Revis, of course. So yeah, shout out to Coach Hines. Yeah, so look, I think the Jets got the coach of the year and they got the defensive rookie of the year, and I was this close to putting Sauce Gardner as the defensive player of the year so far mid-season, of course. All right, so let's get to the big award that everybody talks about, right? It's the award that everybody loves, and that is MVP. Now, this one wasn't quite hard for me to pick, to be honest. Actually, I thought this one was fairly easy. But I'm gonna let you go first. Devontae, who do you got for most valuable player mid-season?
I couldn't. This is another one where it wasn't hard for me to pick. I just hate I hated making this pick so much. Like, I hated it. It's Patrick Mahomes. I'm calling him Patrick Mahomes. He's not GOAT Mahomes because in my book, the GOAT is Tom Brady, period, point blank. I don't think he can get replaced anytime soon as greatest of all time. Literally as the most game winners ever as a quarterback. Right. I'm just saying. But more importantly, bro, the thing is Patrick Mahomes do is not human. Like like the stuff he does as a quarterback basically should not ever be allowed. He literally will spin around, do a circle, backyard football it, and then just throw a little, just flick the ball like that and score a touchdown. He literally, when the beginning of his career, when his knock on as a quarterback was not throwing to the flats. Are you serious? Not using your check down was your flack as a quarterback? Do you know how easy that is? You know how easy of a problem that is? To where all he had to do was just be patient and not look for the big play because he just excelled at it. So then people always said it's just he has Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is cheating. Look at the speed. He gets rid of them. Now you only got Travis Kelce. You have Juju, Valdez-Scantling, McCole Hardman, Sky Moore. When you double, everybody thought we doubled Tyreek Hill. I mean, we doubled Travis Kelce. We ain't got to worry about nobody else.
Yep.
And they're still smoking people when you're doubling Travis Kelce.
Yep.
Travis Kelce has good numbers, but they're not as good as they used to be. Tell you that much. They're not what they were last year.
Right.
Because you couldn't double him. You really couldn't double him because you also had to worry about Tyreek Hill. Yep. But bro, now you got dudes like Valdez-Scantling. Like, ain't nobody was worried double covering him. Nobody double covering Juju. Like, and he's killing. Like, he's killing like he never missed a step. So like that little breakup, the breakup between Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill is what people thought was going to happen with what we wish for would happen with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Now but you see what that happened, like, and now you see what they're doing over there. They're not missing a step, and that just tells you what the type of talent they both carry and how well they're excelling. So if I got Tyreek as the offensive player, I feel like it was only right to have Patrick Mahomes as my MVP.
Look, man, I'm not necessarily going to argue with that. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, you know how I feel about him. Like, everybody thinks I hate him because Raiders cheat. Nah, come on, man. Patrick Mahomes is the truth. He's amazing. The way he's learned to read defenses is remarkable, because I do think that first year he was just throwing the ball. You know what I mean? Incredible, like throwing it to wide open guys, because Andy Reid is that dude when it comes to play calling. But like the way he's progressed as a quarterback, and it's little things, you know what I mean? Like his footwork and stuff that he's fixed is like, come on, man. Like he's hard to, like, he's literally himself is hard to beat as a team, because the way he deceives the ball, you jump up to block it, he changes the angle and he throws it, and then as we saw Sunday night, he could run with the ball. You know what I mean? He's amazing, but he ain't the MVP. The MVP so far mid-season, I gotta go. I know he just lost, but Josh Allen, man. Josh Allen. Now, part of the reason why I got him as my MVP is the same reason it was something I wish he would stop doing, and that's taking contact. But Josh Allen, he's hurdling dudes, man. He's juking guys. He's stiff arming. He's running through them. I want you to slide. Please start sliding, because come on, bro. It's not worth it. I promise you. A first down, it's not worth it. But the way he's just been throwing the ball, and I know that obviously coming off of a loss, but we're talking about the first 9 games, right? And my only knock against Patrick Mahomes is he did throw 2 game-losing picks against the Colts and then against Buffalo, right? And as good as Mahomes was, I think Allen outplayed Mahomes in that Buffalo game. Although both were good. I'm not saying both were whack, both were good. And I do think that Chiefs defense is better. Is it amazing? No, but I think it's a lot better, and that offensive line is great too. But right now it's just Josh Allen, man. And I know that he just lost to the Jets. Well, look, man, we got Sauce as defensive rookie of the year. I got Salah as coach of the year, his divisional opponents. Josh Allen, the way he's playing, man, I would not be surprised if both these teams somehow met in the AFC Championship, although I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's what the league wants, and I think somebody's going to get knocked off along the way, because that's just how sports work. But right now, man, Josh Allen, I still think he's playing the best in the league right now as quarterback. I know Reggie and Devontae, Goat Mahomes, and all that. But mid-season, first 9 games, I'm gonna go the guy who won head-to-head, also the guy who's almost right there in yardage. You know what I mean? Almost right there in yardage, almost right there in touchdowns. I know Mahomes has slightly better stats thanks to San Fran laying an egg that one game. He threw 5 touchdowns as well as week 1. But right now, I think Josh Allen is playing in a year where I think quarterback play is down across the board. Rodgers playing bad, Brady playing bad. Then you have like the mid-tier guys I call like the mid-tier, like Prescott and Derek Carr, Stafford, those mid-tier guys who usually will game winning drives. They're playing bad. I think Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, Tua are like the bright spots. Joe Burrow. Well, I got to go Josh Allen, bro. I think right now, first 9 games, although I have a feeling right now like it's starting to change because Mahomes is still, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Allen, like I said, he threw that bonehead pick against the Jets, and that one bothered me. But for the first 9, I'm going Josh Allen. Let's get to these comments because I know Reggie probably going crazy once he sees it. He says, Goat Mahomes. He does play you legit. He does play you legit. Can't even do him Madden. He's the Eric Kiss of the NFL. If you don't know who Eric Kiss is, in a game triple play baseball, he was a cheat code, and all he did was hit home runs. Jeremy 4G, they definitely were the better team Sunday. I'll give them that. We didn't show up at all. Agree. And then, of course, Bills Mafia, Josh Allen, MVP. I agree, Jeremy. I'm with you right now, although second half of the year, you got to do it. You know what I mean? And Josh Allen should be able to play in the cold, obviously, because he plays in Buffalo right now. I think they still have home field advantage, but we'll see. Going for him, MVP Jalen Hurts. I thought about it. He's undefeated. I thought about it, but I just couldn't put him over Mahomes or Allen. I had him at 3. It was Allen, Mahomes, Hurts. And I know he's undefeated. I know, you know what I mean? But I'm like Allen and Mahomes right now playing out of this world. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for the fourth quarter turnovers, I'd have Lamar there too. But Jeremy 4G, the praise hands. Look, man, for this particular segment, Bills Mafia, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Devontae not. He's down in Kansas City taking L's against the Bills. Glenn Foreman. Pops up. Say another name, but they can't top undefeated. He has the birds flying high. Look, I'm with you on Hurts. It was just Allen, the way he got off to the season. I know they lost 2 games, and I know Hurts is undefeated. Hurts is playing out of his mind, though. Like, Hurts, look, if Mahomes and Allen aren't careful, Hurts might take it. Because Philly's schedule, I know we're going to say it's easy, but so is Dallas. So is the Giants, you know what I mean? And we give them praise. But Devontae, I'm sure he couldn't put Hurts over Mahomes. I couldn't put him over Allen. So that's that. All right. So, Devontae, anything else you got up from week 9? Is there any certain games you're looking forward to week 10?
I mean, all biased. I need to see what TJ Watt look like. Because now my defense got no excuse.
Yeah.
But to play excellent. We just traded for William Jackson III. So we gotta know. I need to see what my defense looks like. More importantly, we had a week off, so I just can't wait to fire my offensive coordinator. I don't think it's gonna make a difference. So I just need more evidence that we can fire this man so I could be happy. But other than that, it feels like it's gonna be a very week for me in the week 10 because the Thursday night game is atrocious. I'm not that's a game I really don't want to watch. That's a game you catch the highlights on YouTube, I swear, because this game is disgusting. But I like to see the Bengals game's gonna be I want to see the Bengals play and see if they can sustain this run game, because I think the Bengals will be more scary if they have a run game. I have to watch the Bengals very closely because we play the Bengals a week later. I want to see how the Chiefs handle it because the Chiefs play the Chargers the week after that.
Yep.
So I'm more looking at these games and seeing what's coming after them, if that makes sense.
No, I'm with you. So if you guys can see right now, we got Falcons at Panthers Thursday night. You don't think it's gonna be a good game?
No.
It's a rematch, obviously.
Oh, I'm aware. That's still nah. That's Black Panther night.
That is Black Panther night. No. All right, bro. All right, man. You bugging. All right. So we got Falcons, Panthers. Seahawks Bucks 9:30 in Germany.
That's early, but that could be a good game. But that's early. Only that's 9:30. That's a London game. I still
No,
got the Seahawks.
Germany.
Oh Jesus Christ!
It's in Germany. Yeah, it's not in London. It's in Germany.
I got the Seahawks.
I think Tom Brady gets a second win, like since the divorce. I think the Bucks will win that game. I actually think the Bucks are actually going to make a playoff run, not Super Bowl, but I think they're going to make a playoff run. Browns Dolphins. You see anything in that?
No, I think the Lions. No, not Browns Dolphins. I think Lions Bears is going to be a very entertaining offensive game. No.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of points scored in that Lions Bears game. Justin Fields is on fire, by the way. Player of the week.
No, yeah, Fields.
Player of the week, by the way.
It's time to show Fields love. I know people got on him for a long time now. Some rightfully so, some unfair because of the coaching. But look, man, so far I'm liking what I'm seeing from Fields, man. I forgot how fast he was. I will say that. All right, so nothing in the Browns Dolphin game. You expect Miami to roll him?
Yep.
All right, Broncos Titans. Let's ride, Broncos country.
that game is going to be a snooze fest. I like that game's no. Yeah.
I think quietly the Titans are starting to get it together, and I think
I don't know about. They don't got the right offense for Malik Willis, to be honest with you, so I don't think it's gonna work.
But it's good enough to beat Denver.
I guess so, but that's
right.
That's a snooze fest.
Vikings Bills.
My prediction is that the Bills are gonna smack them. Okay, I think the Bills are gonna smack the Vikings. Like the Vikings,
really.
I think the Bills are gonna wipe the floor with the Vikings because, like, I think the Vikings defense is good, but the Vikings defense is gonna be on the field too long. Like Kirk Cousins has been playing like he's been. The only difference is between how Kirk Cousins plays every year is that he's actually starting to finish somewhat in the fourth quarter.
Right.
But the only thing is they're not getting Justin Jefferson the ball.
So I got the Bills in that game as well. But before we get to that, Glenn Foreman, by the way, player of the week was Joe Mixon, 5 TDs.
I got Justin Fields. I got who they play again? The Panthers?
Who the Bengals? Panthers.
Yeah, I got Justin Fields once again.
You got Justin Fields and a loss?
Yes, absolutely. They play the Dolphins. Like
that's some NFC North hate right there. If I ever seen it, dude got 5 touchdowns.
They played the Panthers. That's my problem. They played the Panthers.
All right, man.
They played the Panthers.
Let's get to the next game. Texans Giants. Texans been playing teams close, although they just can't get it together. I think next year's actually going to be a good year for the Texans, but
I mean, neither of them got receivers, so like I guess I'm gonna go with the Giants. I guess, but that's not a game I'm not interested. Like I'm really not interested in none of these games. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I'm not even interested in my game. I'm just interested to see TJ Watt. I'm not even interested in my own game. Like none of these games like jump off the board to me. Like you know what I'm saying?
Jaguars, Chiefs. Is there anything there or no?
No, like I just think like Jaguars are a good team. They're just not ready yet.
Next year?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I watched the game. Of course, they played the Raiders. And I saw a lot of talent. Actually, both sides, because you know how I feel about the Raiders roster.
Yeah.
But the coaching. Jacksonville, I think, is a year away. ETN is a problem. He is a problem. Right.
Speed.
All right, your game. Saints, Steelers. What are you looking for from TJ Watt in his first game back?
I'll just provide. I'm like not even TJ Watt. I just want everybody to go back to. Now you got to double him. So now Cam Hayward can eat more because he's a one-on-one, not just getting double teamed like he has been the rest of 90% of the season. Mick Fitzpatrick don't got to be in the box no more. Like I want to see my defense be able to win their one-on-ones again. That's all I want. Because you can't tell me twice about how when we was playing the Bengals, we had the number 1 defense in the league. It looked like we was about to stomp everybody. I was like, oh, we about to have the number 1 defense, and they ain't gonna be close. And then obviously when he got hurt, that flew.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, got to score points though.
Exactly. So like, I think it's like, do I think we could beat the Saints? Yes. Do I expect us to beat the Saints? I don't really think it matters. We not going to the playoffs. I really don't care. I need TJ Watt to come back and get back in the game, get back in this field. You know what I'm saying? And like, let the offense build chemistry. Like my offense, the oldest age on my offense is 26.
I got you. I'm with you. Very young.
So it's like build your chemistry, get your let Kenny Pickett get his career, still continue to develop, and let's just fire the offensive coordinator and get these draft picks.
Matthew Harris, what's good, bro? Jags year is always next year. Yo, you kind of right on that. Like we always say that about the Jags. They got talent. Next year, I think they're gonna be doing. Nah, you right.
They had
All
Blake
right,
Bortles for a couple of years. Let's not remember that.
that's
Let's not
true.
forget that.
Beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs. All right, Colts Raiders. Look, man. Jeff Saturday about to get his first NFL win as a head coach. Look, man, the only thing the Raiders do well is play good at home, so maybe they'll win, and they should win. Obviously, you're coaching against a guy who never coached. Today, he coached his first NFL practice, and he about to go play a game against a good roster team in the Raiders. I have a feeling the Colts are going to win.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm about to have my Stephen A moment because if you lose at home to Sam whatever
Ellinger.
If you lose to Sam Ellinger to a team who just fired their head coach, their defensive coordinator, their offensive coordinator. If you lose to a team who just got rid of 90% of the whole coaching staff, you better fire Josh McDaniels on Monday. Maybe not even after the game. Let him walk home. Are you serious? No. Y'all just bought the house. You sold the house on Devontae Adams. You got Josh Jacobs, and you got Derek Carr. If you lose tomorrow, that is the most embarrassing loss of the season. You need to fire him immediately. Because that is the dumbest, that is the stupidest loss you could possibly have. I know they got JT. My guy Jonathan Taylor is a beast. Bro, they fired the entire coaching staff. You cannot lose to a team who ain't got no coaches. They had to hire a dude from ESPN. They ain't hire Reggie Wayne because, the Rooney Rule. They didn't hire Reggie Wayne. They didn't hire They got him fresh off of ESPN. He wasn't even in the facility. He didn't even work for the facility. If you lose this game, fire everybody. Everybody.
Oh my God. Look, man. I definitely agree with Jeremy Forgy. Send McDaniels back to New England. Adams got to be tight. Look, man, Jeremy, I will say this all seriousness. Devontae Adams been dropping passes. Carr and Adams can't get on the right page. One play, Carr misses them. Next play, Carr put it right in his hands, and Devontae Adams drop it. And also now, some reason he can't get his feet in bounds. There's been 6 touchdowns this year in 9 games where his foot has went out of bounds, and he's usually one of those dudes who, as they call, toe drag swag. Like he's usually like the king of that, but for some reason he can't get his feet in bounds. But so Matt says, think Raiders win. Glenn Foreman, if the Colts win, NFL is rigged. Patch will hire McDaniels back. They always will hire McDaniels back. He's only meant to coach for the Patriots, all right? But Jeff Saturday, shout out to Jeff Saturday from ESPN. He's gonna get his first win this week.
Good thing you got to play on Sunday. You better not.
Moving on. Cardinals Rams NFC West game. Both teams look shaky.
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals, but another game. I'm not. No.
Right.
You should be interested, but no.
One thing to address Jeremy's point, you guys should be a lot better than what your record is. The Raiders' average margin of defeat, even with the 24-0 game of the Saints, is 4 points. So it's the close games. Last year, they won all 7 of their close games, right? This year, they lost all of their close games. That's the way the team works. You know what I mean? You 8-8, 8-9 team. You win close games, 12 wins. You lose a bunch of close games. All of a sudden, you won 4 games. That's how the Raiders are this year. Next up, Cowboys Packers. I believe this is America's game of the week on Fox.
It's Dallas. They're always America's game of the week magically.
I did right.
It's Dallas. I got Dallas because I got Dallas. But next week we're gonna talk about the Packers front office because I'm sick of you. I'm real sick of y'all avoiding this conversation. We have this conversation off camera every year about the draft, and they always try to tell them they're doing the right thing. But clearly, y'all starting to see why I say the Packers front office has a lot of blame to be held. So I'm gonna just save my take for that and just say we'll
We'll
talk
talk
about
about the
that game
Packers
next
next week.
Monday. We'll talk about that game next Tuesday.
We'll talk about the Packers next week. Do not worry. All right, next up Sunday night, Chargers 49ers. Real quick, I will say, Glenn, I saw the your post about the Bengals Steelers game being flex. Of course, I believe that's what, week 15, 16?
It's the next. No, so we got to this.
Oh, it's next week.
Yep.
So of course that game got flexed. So Chiefs Chargers will be that night. All right, so Chargers and the 49ers, man. This one I think is probably the best game matchup wise this week. I think this could be a very good game, or both teams could stink it up. Chargers should have lost last week if the Falcons don't fumble the ball when nobody touched the defensive lineman. But hey, that's why defensive linemen aren't ball carriers, right? But both teams got something to gain on this. Both teams are in second place in their division. Who do you got?
I got the Niners. I don't believe in the Chiefs' run defense at all. At all. I don't believe in the Chiefs' run defense.
Chargers.
Chiefs. Chargers run defense in any
Right.
shape, form, or fashion. Khalil Mack was never a run stopper. Joey Bosa was never a run stopper. And I think on that run defense, that's what's missing. So I definitely got. I think now you got McCaffrey and Debo and all them. All Jimmy Garoppolo has to do is just not screw it up. So I'm gonna rock with the Niners in a close game because I think the Niners have a better run defense than the Chargers.
This one for me is a toss up. If the Chargers can stop the run, Chargers will win the game. If they can't stop the run, then they're gonna get blown out. That's just how I feel. I can't really call it like the game who wins either way. In terms of this game, we got Glenn Foreman. If the Niners beat the Chargers, which he thinks he will, watch out. I think the Niners are going to take off as soon as they get back from being banged up. Jeremy Forgy, Niners D will win that game for them. I agree. Sometimes Herbert, as strong of again, his arm is so strong. Sometimes he thinks he could just like laser the ball in and it gets picked way too often. He threw one again against the Falcons. Matthew Harris thinks the Niners use Debo a lot to put. Yep. The Niners, the way they use Debo Samuels, I know contract wise is not the best because obviously he deserves some money. I know he's just got paid, but football wise it works. And that brings us to our final game this week. Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles Monday night. Do the Eagles get to 9-0?
Yeah, because my opinion, the team that's gonna magically beat the Eagles one time is going to end up being the Giants, and it's going to kill me inside because I hate Giants fans with all my heart. So I got the Giants. I really if there's gonna be one game the Eagles just crap the bed and just have a trap game, is going to be the Giants, and it's gonna disgust me. It disgusts me to say that because all of a sudden the Giants won that game. All the fans are gonna say they going to the Super Bowl. So oh god, but the Commanders don't got enough. I like Heineke. I think they just need to stop playing and just give the dog the job.
Right, I agree with that. That part I agree with.
Nah, they got enough. The Eagles gonna win, and at home, the Eagles winning this game.
Yeah, I got Eagles as well. I think they go to 9. I actually think they're gonna lose to Dallas, not New York. Glenn Foreman, Washington does have enough offense, and Eagles defense is very good. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think Philly goes to 9-0. I think the Philly's toughest thing will get is when they get to the playoffs, because obviously they may have to face a team again, or they may have to face a team they haven't played. I think Philly's going to lose maybe 2 games at the most. Their schedule is on the lighter side, and that's based on the way their remaining teams played this year. I'm not going off last year's record. Philly, their schedule's favorable. Well, hey, man, you play who's in front of you. Giants and Cowboys play a lot of the same teams. So, Jeremy Forgy, 21-17, Washington. He calls the upset. He says it's over. Now, I do think it would be good for Philly to lose a game now than late in the year, but I don't see it, man.
Yeah, no.
Heineke he's done some stuff though. You know what I mean? When he's the guy, right? When he's the guy with no chance, he usually does go on and do something good, but this time, I don't know, man. Philly, they get after it in them corners, man. Corners is locked down. So that's going to be a tough one. But, yo, that's all we got this week. Appreciate y'all for checking it out. Of course, next week, we need some guests on the show. Be on the show, y'all. Come talk some football, whether you're talking Patriots, Bills Mafia, whether we got some more Steelers fans, Raiders fans. Just wait till next week, guys. Raiders fans, just wait till next year. Just wait till next year. We don't need to talk about the Raiders, man. Anyway, Appreciate y'all for checking out the show. Devontae, let them know where they can find you, and of course, we'll catch you guys next week.
At Devontae on Forever. At Devontae Forever on everything. You already know. Jay, thank you for having me.
No doubt. Gridiron podcast, we out. Let's go.